Before you took your first breath, He had already written the answer to your greatest pain. Before the world was spoken into being, before the stars were scattered in the sky, before your mother knew that she was carrying, the Father knew the color of your eyes. He wrote the chapters of your life in glory. He mapped the road before the road was there. He counted every sorrow, every heartbreak, and He placed His hand in everyone with care. So tell me, what is chance? What is accidental fate? When the God who made the cosmos knew your name before the day, He knew before you were born. He knew before the storm. He knew the road would break you, and He planned the way you fall. He knew before the falling. He knew before the fear. He knew, and still He chose you. He knew and still came near. I've heard people say that life is random, that the universe is cold and doesn't care. But I've seen too much precision in my story, too many coincidences to compare. The job that fell apart became the doorway. The heartbreak led me straight into His arms. The season that I called my worst disaster was the setup dressed in unexpected harm. What you call a mistake, He called a stepping stone. What you call abandonment, He called I'll bring them home. He knew before you were born. He knew before the storm. He knew the road would break you, and He planned the way you fall. He knew before the falling. He knew before the fear. He knew, and still He chose you. He knew and still came near. Before Jeremiah, He said, I knew you. Before David faced the giant, He had the stone. Before the cross, He saw the resurrection. Before your desert, He had planted home. You are not an accident of history. You are not a footnote or a mistake. You are the reason that the shepherd searches. You are the treasure that He gave everything to take. He knew before you're breaking. He knew before you're doubting. He knew before your darkest night. He knew, and He planned it all for you. He knew before you were born. He knew before the storm. He knew the road would shape you, but He planned who you'd become. He knew and wrote your story. He knew and called you through. He knew before you were born, and His plan is good and true. The hardest place to trust God is in the waiting. That's exactly where he was. I know what it is to sit in the in-between, where the promise has been spoken but hasn't been seen, where the prayer goes up and the ceiling feels like stone, and the midnight feels like God left you alone. I know the waiting room, I spend my time there, holding promises the world says should have come. I know the faithful prayer that gets no answer, and the silence that makes you wonder if you won. But here is what the waiting hasn't taught me, until the waiting taught me well. The silence is not absence, and the stillness is not stalled. He is working in the waiting, he is building in the pause, he is moving underground in ways you cannot draw. He's working while you're waiting, he's moving while you're still, he's building what you're praying for, according to his will. Don't mistake the quiet for a God who isn't there. He's working while you're waiting, and he's working with such care. The oak tree doesn't rush from seed to canopy. The diamond isn't made in just a day. The masterpiece takes longer than the sketch does, and the miracle takes longer than the praise. So in the waiting, he is doing something that instant answers never could have built. He's growing deep, the roots that hold the tall things. He's laying ground for what won't bow or tilt. And I have seen it in the lives of those who waited long and trusted well, who came out of that season saying it was worth every delay I felt, who said the character that came from waiting was the greatest gift of all, that the tree that nearly broke them was what kept them standing tall. He's working while you're waiting, he's moving while you're still, he's building what you're praying for, according to his will. Don't mistake the quiet for a God who isn't there. He's working while you're waiting, he's working with such care. I will not waste my waiting, I will grow inside this place, I will trust the God of timing, I will lean into his grace. What is he doing underground? What is he growing out of sight? What is he lining up for me on the other side of night? I don't know, but I trust him. I can't see, but I believe what he's working in the waiting is too good for me to leave. He's working while you wait, he's moving while you rest, he's building while you trust him, giving you his best. He's working while you're waiting, he's working while you're waiting, he's moving while you're still, he's building something beautiful, according to his will. Don't you give up in the quiet. Don't you quit inside the calm. He's working while you're waiting, with his plan held in his palm, held in his palm, held in his palm. Keep waiting, he's working, he has not forgotten. forgotten. I don't understand every chapter, but I trust the author. There are chapters in my story that confuse me, pages I would gladly rip and throw away, seasons that I couldn't find the meaning, and paragraphs I cried through every day. But a story isn't finished in the middle, and a reader can't judge a book by one hard scene. And the author of my life has seen the ending, and he says the ending's greater than I dream. I don't have to understand it to believe in the one who planned it. I don't have to see the ending to trust the one who wrote my start. I don't have to love this chapter to believe in the author. I just have to trust the heart of the God who holds my heart. I trust the God who wrote my story, even when I don't like the page I'm on. Oh, I trust the God who holds my future, even when the plan doesn't feel strong. He's the author and the finisher, the beginning and the end. I trust the God who wrote my story, and I'll trust him to the end. They say every great story has a crisis, a moment where the hero almost falls, a chapter where the reader holds their breath and wonders if the hope will make it through the walls. And maybe I am in that chapter, maybe this is where my story bends. But the God who wrote the crisis is the God who wrote and then the dawn came, and then the door opened, and then the miracle arrived, and then the broken thing was mended, and then what looked like death was life, and then He's still writing to the end, and the best chapter hasn't been read yet. Every plan of man has limits. Only one plan never fails. Oh, yeah. Oh. I've watched the greatest strategies collapse. I've seen the strongest towers turn to dust. I've known the plans I built with careful logic crumble when I placed in them my trust. But there is one design that holds through ages, one blueprint that has never been undone. From Genesis to Revelation's pages, the plan of God keeps rolling like the sun. No weapon formed against it, no counsel overthrows it, no darkness interrupts it, no devil can undo what God has set in motion. No power in the ocean can drown the plan He's written, the plan He wrote for you, the plan that cannot fail, the plan that will not bend, the plan that holds through every storm and outlasts every end. God's plan is never shaken, God's plan is never late. The plan that cannot fail is the plan that holds your fate. When Joseph sat inside the pit and crying, did he know the throne was waiting at the end? When Daniel faced the lions in the darkness, did he see the morning light around the bend? The plan was always working in the background, the plan was always moving toward the good. What looked like devastation was redirection, what felt like death was doing what it should. The enemy may plot it, but God has already got it. The storm may try to stop it, but it's written in His hand. He sees the end from beginning, He sees the lost ones winning, He sees the broken standing. This is His plan that cannot fail, the plan that cannot fail, and that will not bend, the plan that will not bend, and that goes through every storm and outlasts every end. God's plan is never shaken, God's plan is never late. The plan that cannot fail is the plan that holds your fate. Kingdoms have risen and fallen, empires have turned to sand, but every word He has spoken is still standing right where He planned. Pharaoh tried to stop it, Herod tried to kill it, Rome tried to crucify it, but Sunday morning proved no one stops the plan of God. No one buries what He loved, no one changes the word He speaks. The plan cannot be undone. The plan that cannot fail, the plan that when the plan looks broken. 68 BPM. Gospel blues, so no ready. The hardest thing about trusting God's plan is when the plan looks destroyed. I had a picture of how this was supposed to go. I had the map, the timeline, and the road. But somewhere in the middle of my confidence, the whole thing cracked beneath its heavy load. And I stood in the middle of the rubble of a life I thought was going right. And I asked the God who promised me a future, where exactly were you on that night? The plan looked broken, the promise felt like silence. The dream lay in pieces on a cold and hollow floor. But something deep kept breathing, something wouldn't stop believing that the broken was becoming something I'd not seen before. When the plan looks broken, that's when faith is real. When the promise seems like silence, that's when trust reveals what is made of, what is built on, what is rooted deep inside. When the plan looks broken, that's when God's at work in the places that we hide. I've talked to those who lost what they held dearest, a child, a marriage, a career, a dream. And they say the strangest thing about the breaking was the grace that showed up in the wreckage scene. Not the grace that kept the pieces all together, but the grace that held them when it fell apart. And the plan that looked destroyed from the outside was rebuilding something deeper in their heart. I won't call it easy, I won't dress it pretty. There was real grief in the breaking, real and honest pain. But the God who holds the ending is the God who's in the middle, and He uses all of it. Not one drop goes down the drain. When the plan looks broken, that's when faith is real. When the promise seems like silence, that's when trust reveals what is made of, what is built on, what is rooted deep inside. When the plan looks broken, that's when God's at work in the places that we hide. There is a grace for the shattered. There is a word for the confused. There is a hand in the rubble. There is a love that won't refuse to enter into the broken, to sit beside the grief, to be the presence in the valley, and to be the source of the relief. So cry, you're allowed to cry here. Grieve, you're allowed to grieve. But in the middle of the broken, do not leave. God is building in the breaking. God is speaking the hour of belief. It's okay that it looks broken. He's not done. He is never done. What if the wrong road was the right road all along? Yeah. Ooh. I had the GPS of my own ambition. I knew exactly where I meant to be. I had the timeline and the perfect vision, a picture-perfect life made carefully. But then the road I chose just disappeared. The plan I built just quietly fell through, and I ended up somewhere unintended, which turned out to be exactly where I'd bloom. I called it a detour, God called it a design. I called it a setback, God called it right on time. I called it a dead end, God called it the door. I called it what I lost, God called it so much more. The detour was the destination, the delay was the direction. What I thought was the wrong road was the road to my resurrection. I stopped fighting where I landed, and I started looking up. The detour was the destination, and it led me to God's love. I met the ones who never got the shortcut, who breathed the easy road they never walked, and later said the longer, harder pathway gave them things the easy road had blocked. The depth that comes from difficulty, the wisdom born from walking through the long, the character that cannot come from comfort. The detour was the making of a song, and I'm so grateful now for what I couldn't see, that every unexpected turn was God's precise decree, that every disappointment was a door dressed in disguise, that the detour was a blessing wearing something I despise. The detour was a destination, the delay was the direction. What I thought was the wrong road was the road to my resurrection. I stopped fighting where I landed, and I started looking up. The detour was the destination, and it led me to God's love. Stop mourning the road you didn't take. Stop praising the road that you're on. God doesn't make navigation errors. He's known the destination all along. Yeah. Every closed door was protection. Every no was redirection. Every waiting room was preparation. Every setback, elevation. Run into the detour. Dance inside the delay. What looks like confusion to the natural eye is God's most purposeful and brilliant way. The detour is the destination. The waiting is the way. What I thought was off the path is exactly where God's plan would take me today. not lost. You are right on time. The detour was the plan. God has never said that didn't go as planned. There is no plan B in heaven, only plan A, running perfectly. You think you messed it up beyond repair. You think your choices ruined what was meant to be. You think the failure in your past has cost you the future God intended you to see. But let me tell you something about the architect who drafted every blueprint from the start. He didn't build a plan that could be broken by the stumbling of a human heart. He's not up there in heaven course correcting. He's not surprised by anything you've done. He didn't go to plan B when you failed him. He was working plan A all along, all along. Plan B does not exist in heaven. What God writes cannot be overwritten. He didn't scramble when you stumbled. He had already built the bridge. Plan B does not exist in heaven. His plan A holds through every season. What looked like your failure to him was always, always part of this. Now I'm not saying that choices have no weight. I'm not saying that consequences disappear. What I'm saying is the God who is eternal saw every choice you make from up here, and he said, I know what they'll do in the middle. I know the falls, the failures, and the fears, and I will build my plane around my mercy, and I'll bring him home through all those years. He's not a God who panics at your failures. He's not surprised by any of your sin. He knew it all before you took your first breath, and he loved you then, he loves you now again. Plan B does not exist in heaven. What God writes cannot be overridden. He didn't scramble when you stumbled. He had already built the bridge. Oh, Plan B does not exist in heaven. His plan A holds through every season. What looked like your failure to him was always, always part of it. Stop carrying the weight of what you ruined. Stop believing that you're broke. What can I break? Stop living like God had to start all over because of every single mistake you made. He is the God of restoration. He is the God who could come back. He is the God who takes the ashes and makes beauty from the black. No plan B, no plan B, always plan A, always plan A. What you call the wreckage, he called the way. No plan B, no plan B, never surprised, never surprised. The God of the universe is never improvised. Plan B does not exist in heaven. What God wrote cannot be overridden. He didn't scramble when I stumbled. He had already built the bridge. Plan B does not exist in heaven. His plan A holds through every season. What looked like my biggest failure was always, always part of it. Always part of this. You didn't break the plan. You can't break the plan. He wrote the plan, and it still stands. There is no greater question than why am I suffering? There is no greater answer than it had a purpose. I will not try to make this sound too easy. I will not say the pain was nothing real. I will not dress the suffering in sweetness, or pretend I know exactly how you feel. But I have walked through fires I call pointless, and come out the other side and look behind. And I have seen the purpose in the burning that my suffering eyes could never find. It was building something in me that comfort never could have formed. It was carving out a depth in me that only comes from storms. It was growing in the broken ground, what the healthy soil resists. And the suffering had a purpose, even when the purpose was not visible. The suffering had a purpose, even when I could not see. The suffering had a purpose, it was making more of me. Not the me of ease and plenty, but the me that cannot break. The suffering had a purpose, and I'm better for the way. Better for the way. Paul said, I have learned in whatsoever state not felt, but learning takes a cost. And James said, count it joy, not because it's painless, but because you trust the one who hasn't lost. And Job said, though he slay me, not the prayer of comfort, but the declaration of a faith refined. And out of that refusal to abandon trust came a restoration past the suffering's confines. I look at every soul who suffered deeply and gave God the grief and came out gold. And I see a different kind of glory that the easy road ones have never known. A depth, a knowing, a compassion, and authority the suffering alone can give. The suffering had a purpose, it was teaching them to live. The suffering had a purpose, even when I could not see. The suffering had a purpose, it was making more of me. Not the me of ease and plenty, but the me that will not break. The suffering had a purpose, and I'm better for the way. I would not trade the person that I am on the other side for the comfortable, untested version that was living free of strife. Because the broken things make ministers, the wounded make the healers. The ones who went through midnight are the ones who hold the candle for the ones still in the dark. So I lay my suffering down as an offering, not a wound. I say, it was not wasted, it was always being used. Every tear was being counted, every groan was being heard. Every night of weeping was preparing me for purpose. Through the pain, there was purpose in the pain. He is shaping you today. It was never pointless, not a single moment of it. The suffering had a purpose, and you are the purpose. The job you didn't get, the relationship that ended, the door that wouldn't open. Thank God. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I used to keep a list of my rejections, every door that closed before I knocked it twice, every opportunity that fell right through my fingers, every moment that I paid the highest price. But now I look back on that list with different eyes, and something in my spirit starts to smile, because every single closing I once mourned was a mercy I just couldn't see in that moment of trial. What if the no was a rescue? What if the loss was a gain? What if the door that refused you was the only thing standing between you and a whole lot of pain? Every closed door was his protection. Every no was a redirection. Every end was a new beginning wrapped in disguise. Every loss was his correction. Every weight was his perfection. Every closed door was his protection. And I thank him for it now. With these eyes, with these eyes, these eyes, with these eyes, I think about the one who got what they were chasing, who grabbed the thing that looked so good and bright, and found it hollow in the morning of their heaven, and wished they lost it earlier in the night. And I think of what I dodged inside God's mercy, the things he shielded me from every year, the relationships that would have surely broken me, the doors he closed so better ones could appear. I'm not saying every closed door was easy in the moment. I'm not saying it didn't hurt to watch the thing you wanted walk away and leave you standing with an empty hand. But the empty hand gets filled when you're inside his plan. Every closed door was his protection. Every no was a redirection. Every end was a new beginning wrapped in disguise. Every loss was his correction. Every weight was his perfection. Every closed door was his protection. And I thank him for it now. With these eyes, thank you for the job I didn't get that would have drained the very life from me. Thank you for the person who walked out who wasn't meant to be my destiny. Thank you for the city I didn't move to, for the deal that didn't go the way I planned. Thank you for the timing I called too late, that was right on time inside your head. Every no was a yes to something better. Every stop was a start to something new. Every close was an open in disguise. Every loss was God saying I have something for you. Look back at the closed doors. Now look where you are. Thank you. All things, all things. He said all things work together for good. That includes this. Yeah. Hey, hey. I know what the word says, and I'm standing on it. I know what it costs, and I'm paying it. All things work together for the good of those who love Him and are called according to His will. Not some things, all things. Not the pretty things, all things. Not just the victories, all things. Even this, all things. So I'm not moved by what I see. I'm not shaken by the feeling. I am rooted in a promise that was written before time. And the God who spoke it meant it. And the God who wrote it keeps it. And the God who planned it lives it. Every word is on the line. Romans 8:28. It's still true today. What He said in that chapter is still standing and won't sway. All things, still all things. Every trial and every pain. Romans 8:28 is still true today. I have tested this in seasons of destruction. I have leaned on it when reason wasn't there. I have quoted it through tear-stained nights of waiting, and watched the verse become the morning air. The diagnosis came, still Romans 8:28. The job was lost, still Romans 8:28. The marriage broke, still Romans 8:28. The dream collapsed, but God's word stays the same. He didn't promise it'd be painless. He didn't promise it'd be fast. He said He'd work it all together, that it was all and it would last. Good. He said it would be good. Not comfortable, not easy, but the outcome would be good. Romans 8:28. Yeah, it's still true today. What He said in that chapter is still standing and won't sway. It's still true today. I declare it over my situation. I declare it over my confusion. I declare it over my broken heart. I declare it over what I do not understand. Cancer, all things. Bankruptcy, all things. Betrayal, all things. Loss, all things. Unanswered prayers, all things. Silent seasons, all things. Change His word. All things work together for good. Romans 8:28. Still true today. What He promised in the scripture, He's still standing and won't sway. All things new. All things. Every fire and every rain. Romans 8:28. It's still true today. Romans 8:28. I believe it, I believe it. Hey, I receive it. Romans 8:28. Forever, forever, forever. Still true today. Write it on your wall. Speak it over your situation. All things still. still true today. everyone who has wondered if God forgot them, He didn't. He has a plan, and this is not the end. I have sung these songs all through the darkest nights. I have preached these truths when I could barely stand. I have held the promises above my questions, and I've seen enough to finally understand that the story God is telling is eternal, and we're living in the middle of the book, and the chapters we call endings are just turning points, and the God who holds the ending, take a look. He is not a God of half-done stories. He is not a God who starts and walks away. He who called you is completely faithful. He will do it, He will do it. Hear me say, God has a plan. This is not the end. God has a plan. He will bring you through again. What looks like a grave is a garden. What looks like defeat is a door. God has a plan. This is not the end. There's so much more. There's so much more. To the one who's nearly given up on hoping, to the soul who's on the edge of letting go, to the heart that's questioning if God is watching, I want you to hear the thing I know. He has not forgotten your name or your address. He has not closed His ears to what you prayed. He is working in the silence and the waiting, and the promise that He made will not be delayed. God does not forget His children. God does not abandon what He loves, and the one who thinks the story's over hasn't seen what comes from up above. But God has a plan. This is not the end. God has a plan. He will bring you through again. What looks like a grave is a garden. What looks like defeat is a door. God has a plan. This is not the end. There's so much more. There's so much more. Say it with me. whatever you're facing right now. God has a plan. It is good, and this is not the end. This is not the end. This is not the end. You see the storm, he sees the shore. You see the night, he sees the morning. From where you're standing, everything looks dark. The walls are close and the ceiling's very low, and every prayer you've offered in the dark seems to disappear before it starts to grow. But there is someone standing at a vantage that no human eye has ever reached before, who sees the end embedded in the beginning, who sees the open past the closing door. He sees the harvest and the seed you're crying over. He sees the sunrise past the midnight that you're in. He sees the answered prayer inside the waiting. He sees the win inside what looks like a begin again. He sees again. God sees what you cannot see. He sees the end from where you stand in the middle. God sees what you cannot see, the answer to your every desperate riddle. He sees the way when the way has disappeared. He sees the plan when the plan feels unclear. God sees what you cannot see, and what he sees is good. The weavers on the underside of tapestry see only knots and threads that have no form, but on the other side a masterpiece is blooming, a picture stitched together from the storm. We see the knots, the underside of living. We see the tangled threads and question why, but God is weaving from the other vantage, and what he's making brings a tear to the eye. He sees your future in your failure. He sees your glory in your grief. He sees the flourishing in the fallow. He sees the promised land beneath the season. He sees beneath this season. God sees what you cannot see. He sees the end from where you stand in the middle. God sees what you cannot see. and it is good.